the game between Nymburk and Casademont Zaragoza. Well, this is a battle for first place in Group L, and it's a game that, well, you never know how Basketball Champions League draws will go. Whoever finishes first, they'll get a team that finished second in one of the other three groups, and the team that finishes second will get a team that finishes first. But needless to say, Dynamo Sassari and Borussia Bamberg will also be playing today. Neither of those teams will have a chance of moving on to the Basketball Champions League Final 8. Well, when these teams played last week, it was a real humdinger, especially, I would say, for a good 2 quarters and a half. And Zaragoza really did turn it on in the second half and pulled away for a decisive victory. These are the standings again as we come into this game, and you can see why Dynamo Sassari at 0-5 have no chance of progressing. It's been a rough round of 16 for them. Borussia Bamberg actually had their chances last week, but they have not been able to capitalize on them, and at 2-3 they have no chance of moving on. But Dylan Ennis and Casademont Zaragoza and Jacob Wiley, this is a team that without question, if they play as well as they have at certain times this season, you'd have to say they are among the contenders in the Basketball Champions League when they go to the Final 8. So Rashid Suleiman, Javier Justiz is back, Jonathan Barreto, Nicholas Persino, Jaime Fernandez, Alex Font, Robin Benzing, Jacob Wiley, Dylan Ennis, and Javier Garcia suiting up tonight for Sergio Hernandez. So no Elias Harris, no Trygve Helenissen, and no Rodrigo San Miguel. And for Nymburk, a team that played like Casademont Zaragoza in the Final 8 last season. They too are missing a couple of key players in Retin Obasohan. It remains to be seen if Jared Harding plays tonight. He is in the team, but they've got Omar Pruitt, Peter Benda, Harding, Hayden Dalton, Lubis Kovar, Lukas Paliza, Martin Kries, Steven Zimmerman, Franciszek Rilic, Wojtek Hruban, who has been ailing of late, but he is back. And we are about ready to tip things off. So perhaps not the drama that you would have if both of these teams or either of these teams was scrapping away trying to get into the Final 8. But nevertheless, the battle for first place in the group, in this round of 16 group, is about to commence. And both of these teams would like to have that spot and continue to have this positive momentum that they have built in the round of 16. And certainly Nymburk want to bounce back from their big defeat against this Casademont Zaragoza team. Justiz has been terrific over time, perhaps not as much this season. Barreto has emerged as a key player in this team. Brasino played outstanding last week. And of course, since Jacob Wiley has shown up as he follows Germany captain Robin Benzing, Wiley was absolutely outstanding. Dylan Ennis comes out as well, and the young Garcia and Suleiman, Wiley, and Brasino. Perhaps how well those three players play for the remainder of the season will determine the fate of this team. So you see Omar Pruitt coming out, Peter Benda, the veteran, Jarek Harding, who didn't play on Tuesday against Dynamo Sassari, Hayden Dalton, Steven Zimmerman, Lukas Paliza, who's kind of emerged as a real scorer in this team. Czech international, Martin Kries, another Czech international, comes out, followed by Zimmerman, Safarczyk over there, and of course Hruban, one of the all-time greats in this competition. There's Hruban, and followed by Safarczyk and Jakub Tuma, who has been getting a lot of minutes for this Nymburk team that's coached by Oren Amiel, who, by the way, was the coach of the year in the Basketball Champions League last season. So, two good teams with a lot of aspirations, and you see Hernandez pointing over at everybody as if to say hello. I see you. And he's no doubt got his game face on. He joined this Casademont Zaragoza team after the start of the season. And you have to say that was a long time in coming, obviously from Argentina, and a hugely successful coach there, and also the coach of Argentina's national team for so many years, and most recently led them to the final of the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 in China. So he has coached a lot of really the greatest players of international basketball, the Manu Ginobili's, the Andres Nociones, the Luis Scolas, the Facundo Campazos, and he's coaching this Casademont Zaragoza team, and that has his very own Nicolas Brasino in there, another Argentina national team player that played at the World Cup. So they've responded to him, and well, you never know. Maybe the chips are going to fall the way of Casademont Zaragoza in this competition, and who knows, maybe they'll rally and get one of those top 8 spots as well in Spain and get into the ACB or the Liga Endesa playoffs. They have to get to the top 8 to accomplish that. There's Brasino, and I would say probably the thing about Brasino is his consistency. He needs to be able to string together game after game after game. He can be great, and then he can drop off. Yorgos Porsanidis from Greece on the left, Oskar Lusic from Latvia in the middle, and Tanel Suslov from Estonia on the right. So a couple of Baltic referees tonight, and Porsanidis, the Greek, calling the shots in this battle for first place. So I talked about Zaragoza as well. We know that Nymburk are the powerhouse of Czech basketball. Casademont Zaragoza right now are 12th in Spain. So they're going to start tonight with Rashid Suleiman, Javier Justiz, the Cuban, Nicolas Brasino, Robin Benzing, and Dylan Ennis, the Canadian. So you've got 5 players from 5 different countries in that starting lineup. A United Nations of sorts playing here for Sergio Hernandez. And of course, because of the coronavirus pandemic, even though positive strides are being made with respect to vaccines and everything else, there's still the issue of getting vaccinations for everybody and herd immunity and everything else. And right now, you don't have fans, unfortunately, here tonight. So Omar Pruitt, Hayden Dalton, Steven Zimmerman, Wojtek Hruban, and Jakub Tuma in the lineup tonight. So you got a couple of Czech internationals along with USA, Zimmerman and Dalton and Pruitt. And Oren Amiel, who used to be the assistant coach of this team and has certainly had a seamless transition to the job as head coach, which was confirmed by his performance last season when they were terrific. And you really do wonder what might have happened with both of these teams, really, but maybe especially Nymburk. Had the pandemic not come along and caused a lengthy break. When they got back together for the final 8, they just didn't quite have the same oomph to their game. And that's taking nothing away from the other teams that played, and ultimately San Aredo Burgos, they were deserving winners of the competition. Redes San Pablo Burgos, also another of the teams that will be at the Basketball Champions League Final 8. So they will be defending their title wherever that Final 8 is held. We'll be finding that out soon enough. So this is the battle for first place in the group between Casademont Zaragoza and ERA Nymburk. Well, hello everybody. If you're just joining us, we are in Nymburk, the Czech Republic, and it's the battle between ERA Nymburk and Casademont Zaragoza. And right off the bat, Robin Benzing comes out and strokes a 3-pointer for Zaragoza. Ruban steps behind the arc now, and his attempt was a little short. Suleiman rebounds it, gets it over to Brasino. That was his range. He gets the down low to Husteeth, and Husteeth loses the basketball. Fumbles away into the hands of Ruban, who gets it over to Pruitt in the right corner, and Pruitt misses, but Hayden Dalton gets the rebound, gets it to Zimmerman. Zimmerman's had a better season this year, I think. Dalton steps out of bounds. That turns it over. Keep an eye on Dalton. He's a player that can hurt you in a variety of ways. Benzing has to get out and guard him because of his three-point shooting ability. And, of course, we know that Dalton has had some highlight reel dunks this year. So you got to make sure you get some help defense over there if you're going to run at him the way that Benzing did. Fortunately for them, he stepped out of bounds. Brasino, meanwhile, whips it over to Dylan Ennis. And Ennis drills his first three of the game. So a couple of threes already for Zaragoza. Jakob Tuma to Pruitt. Omar Pruitt, and he answers. Wow. Right in the grill of Brasino. Suleiman drives in and is fouled before the shot by Jakob Tuma. This was Pruitt. This is like a free throw for him. He is a very good shooter. If he's got his feet set and he doesn't really have anybody in his face. Brasino was actually a little bit further away than I thought. And here's Ennis again, and this time a little bit long. So now Dalton. Wojciech Ruban throws it right into the hands of Rashid Suleiman. Behind the back pass. Oh, and Dylan Ennis goes up and is fouled. So free throws coming for him. A little bit of razzle-dazzle already from Rashid Suleiman. And he'll get an assist if Ennis can put away one of these free throws. Suleiman, I think one of the issues with him really last season and the start of this season, he had some injuries, but he is looking good right now. I mean, he is looking like one of the better point guards in this competition. So keep an eye on him. So Ennis takes the lead up further for Casademont Zaragoza. And now the bump and the foul on Benzing. Zaragoza's first. Now the pass again, Ruban, and he misses for the second time. And again, Ennis leaks out early, and Ennis is fouled by Ruban, who thought he had all ball right at the rim. Good overhead pass. Whew. And Ruban might have had a point there. And that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying, I got the ball, and that was all. And perhaps the basketball gods have ruled in his favor by having Ennis miss that first free throw. See if he misses the second. Nope, he does get the first one. He does make the second one, rather, so he goes 1 for 2. Ennis now with 6 points. Three-point shot, and Dalton. Well, we talked about his ability. Good jump shooter. And both of these teams, two of the highest scoring teams in the competition. Suleiman, I don't know if that was meant to be a pass. Ended up being a shot. Dalton a little pump fake, and he hands it off to Zimmerman. And Zimmerman dunks it softly with 2 hands. Husteeth gets it back to Benzing, who's had a 3. This is a 2 if it goes, and it does. So fast start for Robin Benzing. Now Pruitt gets into the paint, flies, takes the contact, and gets a trip to the line. So Javier Justiz, yeah, he kind of had lowered his arms a little bit, and his body went right into Omar Pruitt. So both free throws good for Pruitt, and now it's a 1-point game. And Lucic, foul called by Porzingis. So it was indeed a foul on Pruitt. He fouled Benzing. Now the dump down low, and big Javier Justiz goes up and throws it down with the left hand. Little pick, and then he rolls, and he's wide open. Ruban dribbles it off his foot, but it goes to Dalton. Now Ruban hits the three. So Ruban, at third time asking, able to knock it down. And we've got a good one going here in Nymburk. 13 apiece, but now the jump shot by Dylan Ennis. And takes the lead back up to 15-13. Ruban quickly to Dalton, who turns and scores with the left hand. Well, that's what you call a twisting layup. Brusino hasn't really looked for his shot yet. Gets it back to Justiz, and Justiz puts it up and in. The big fella with a couple of baskets. Hernandez looking for a little bit better defense, though. Ruban. Oh, boy. Nice set that time by Nymburk. Ennis gets it over to Benzing. Will this be his third jumper of the game? Well, he's off target. And Zimmerman hands it off to Pruitt. Nymburk putting it up, and look at that. Brusino called for the foul on Pruitt, now with a chance for a 4-point play. Well, if he touched him, it was barely. It couldn't see it quite really on the replay. Lukas Paliza now checks into the game, as does Safarchik and Benda. So wholesale substitutions. Remember, no Retin Obasohan again, who is missing this contest for Nymburk. Another explosive Belgium international who hasn't felt well. And now over to Brusino. Little give and go, tries to give it back to Justiz. That was a nice little passing action there by Brusino. Now Barreto and Wiley. Let's see if Wiley has as much energy as he had last week. I mean, that doesn't seem possible. His energy was off the charts. So Chris also comes in for Dalton. Brusino forces one up. Safarchik. Benda now over to Chris, who passes up the jumper. Back to Safarchik. Now Paliza. And good defense by Brusino, almost forcing the turnover. Nymburk trailed early, but now they're leading, and driving in and going for the dunk was Pruitt, and he has been so influential here at the start of the game. He already has 8 points, and now he is going to the line after taking on Wiley of all people. So first foul on Wiley, having just come into the game, and this time Pruitt is off target. And Pruitt, one of the great mysteries, how a great shooter from the floor can step up to the line and miss 2 free throws. Suleiman rather. And kind of forces his way in there. Wiley with the follow, and now it's Safarczyk pushes it forward. And nice sharing of the basketball for Nymburk, but they can't get it to go. And Brasino, meanwhile, shows his versatility, getting the rebound and bringing it up the floor and gets it over to Dylan Ennis. Now Paliza. Benda open, and the veteran hits the three-pointer. Nymburk's biggest lead of the game now. 6 points. Brasino, and fouled before the shot. He will get free throws nevertheless, because Nymburk are over the limit. And Brasino, again, a player you have to respect his shot, but he is quick and will blow right past you, as was the case there for Paliza. And just a little bit of a hold on him. Now Garcia comes into the game. He's been getting some good minutes for this Zaragoza team. And Brasino, meanwhile, again, you know, we talked about that consistency from him that has perhaps the lack of consistency that's dogged him, and at least from a scoring standpoint so far. He finally gets his first point of the game. He came in shooting 85% at the free throw line, having made 17 of 20, so that was a rare miss for him at the line. Now Lukasz Paliza dribbling around, long 2 if it goes. And Brasino again looks up the floor. Well, he's trying to run at every opportunity, but that time maybe Garcia wasn't able to get quite ahead of the Nymburk defense as Brasino suspected. Look at him. Well, maybe the Brasino pass was just a little bit off target, in fact. Now Safarczyk. And Ruban misses. And Suleiman punches the ball over to Wiley. Now gets it back. Wiley hands it back, and boy, nice little interchange there between those two, and Wiley banks it in. So Jacob Wiley very patient, and Suleiman very unselfish, and those two team up for another 2 points for Zaragoza. Meanwhile, Paliza back to Benda. This time Wiley comes at him, and then look at Benda, hands it off, and an easy one for Chris, who also wanted a foul, but referees let him play on. Nymburk with a 5-point edge. And here's a foul called on Brasino. Okay, no, it was on Wiley. Yeah, it was a little bit getting set late with his screen, his pick. And Dylan Ennis is going to come back in for Wiley, who exits with 2 fouls in just 3 minutes. Well, without San Miguel, without Helenissen, and without one other player, it is a little bit short-handed team here. That three-point shot, no good. The rebound, Ruban, without Elias Harris, excuse me. So that's three players that played a lot of minutes for Casademont Zaragoza, and they are not in the lineup tonight. So less options for Hernandez to be able to change the rhythm of the game. Suleiman. Oh boy, tough finish for Rashid Suleiman. Wojciech Ruban fashions a little bit of space, but then hands it off to Benda. Always looking for the extra man. Paliza, and wide open. Łukasz Paliza has just been outstanding the last couple of weeks. Barreto hasn't looked for his shot yet. Here he is, drives in, able to pass it back outside to Ennis. Looked like he was about to turn it over. And then the hold called on Martin Kries. So Barreto, who in one game in the Basketball Champions League this season had 6 3-pointers from 6 attempts, makes his first free throw. And Hernandez looking a little bit restless over there. Barreto makes just 1 of 2. Safarczyk. Paliza, and the 31-year-old hits the three-pointer. Well, I said he played very well of late. And that basket takes Aaron Nymburk's lead up to 30-23. He didn't shoot as well against Dinamo Sastre the other night, but the 2 games prior to that, he was excellent. Here he is now walking off the court, all smiles, as Nymburk leading it 30-23 at the end of 1. Nymburk 6 of 11 from three-point range, 5 of 7 inside the arc. So here's a look back at some of the action from the first quarter here in Nymburk. And it was Zaragoza that got off to the better start. Saw the three-pointer from Benzing and then from Dylan Ennis. And Omar Pruitt was left open, and he drilled a 3. Of course, he had another 3 while he was being fouled, and it's a game full of shots from behind the arc, including from this man, Łukasz Paliza. Well, the 31-year-old Paliza had 10 points against Sassari earlier this week, but just 4 of 13 from the floor and 2 of 11 from behind the arc. So, but before that, in the game at Zaragoza, he had 17 points on 6 of 11 shooting, including 3 of 6 from long range. And the week before that, he had 26 points in the game against Bamberg, in which he was 9 of 15 from the floor and 6 of 11 from behind the arc. So that is a player you would imagine that has every chance of helping this team. So Hernandez trying to get something straight there with Lucic. I don't know if it's about calling a timeout. But you look back at that Czech Republic team that played at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. You had Ruban, and Paliza was there, as well as Martin Krish. Now, Paliza, also another thing I would say about him is Hernandez talks to Zaragoza over here. Paliza's 2.03 meters in height, so 6 feet 8 inches, and deceptively big. For some reason, he doesn't strike me as being that big, but he uses that size to good effect. Very, very effective player. Here he is again, Paliza, launching it and getting it to drop. So when he played at the World Cup, he was 29 years of age, and he will be in that Czech team, I would imagine, when they are one of the host nations for the FIBA Eurobasket, which will be coming up next year. Well, second quarter action underway here in Nymburk, the Czech Republic. And the turnover. And Dylan Ennis likes to be in the open floor, and Ruban slowed his progress. Forced him to pass it back outside to the Garcia. And the young Garcia over to Justiz. And Garcia leans into one. Now Jakob Tuma is fouled by Barreiro. I keep saying young Garcia. Javier Garcia, just 20 years of age. And again, without Rodrigo San Miguel tonight, they're a little bit shorthanded in the backcourt, although he has played in a lot of games this year, Javier Garcia. Paliza passes it back, and Zimmerman misses, bats it back out, and Dylan Ennis gets to the rim, doesn't convert. However, Zaragoza will get another chance. Looks like Hayden Dalton might have caught Dylan Ennis trying to block that shot, may have caught him in the mouth. Justiz catches the inbounds pass. Ennis. Bounce pass, beautiful play, but Barreiro going up and trying to make the shot was number 11, Font, and he was short. And this time Tuma reaches in, and with the contact is called for the foul on Barreiro. Jonathan Barreiro himself, a spring chicken, just 24 years of age. So some good young players in this team. Don't forget Tryggvi Helenissen, the Icelandic national team center. He's still young. Here's Barreiro. Into the corner, he whips it, and Font's shot no good. So the well is dry right now for Zaragoza. And the drive leaning into it and scoring was Omar Pruitt. And really the last thing that you need if you're Hernandez to be shorthanded and then have a player like Wiley pick up a couple of fouls early on and deprives you of his services. This time Paliza steps up and buries the jump shot right at the elbow. So 7 points now for Paliza, and Brasino comes in as Hernandez sees this thing starting to get away from his team. Big opportunity for Font, meanwhile, to come out and make some plays. Justiz drives in and fouled by Tuma. Well, if Brasino's not scoring, he is certainly setting up his teammates to good effect. 3 fouls on Tuma, and without Obasohan, again, one of their star players from the backcourt. Nymburk also a little bit shorthanded. Justice, meanwhile, when you're struggling, it seems like nothing goes right, and Justice's free throw is no good. He misses the second as well, and Zimmerman chases down the rebound. Justice has not played many games this year, just 2 games. So he's trying to get back into shape. Great defense by Casademont Zaragoza, preventing Safarczyk from passing the basketball in. Excuse me, did they call the travel? No, it was a 5-second violation. It just made me think about that with Amil's reaction. And Barrero this time catches Safarczyk with his left elbow, hooks him a little bit, and Lucic was right on the money with that call. Look at this. Yeah, no doubt about it. Bam. So the fouls starting to accumulate for both teams. Benzing back in the game, guarding Dalton. Now Pruitt gets inside, puts it up and in. And their biggest lead of the game gets even bigger now, 13 points. They have yet to score now in this quarter. Ennis's attempt. Now Pruitt to the corner, Safarczyk. Hayden Dalton. Well, he was looking open there. He gets it to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman scores. And Nymburk just keep the scoreboard ticking over in their favor. Their lead has now ballooned to 15 points, and Sergio Hernandez calls timeout. Not sure that Justice was fully alert there, and Zimmerman was able to catch it and shoot it. So Justice is going to come out. Hasn't been one of the better games for him.
Y no lo cambiamos. Pero no pasó nada, sí pasó. Sí pasó. Terminan anotando no porque perdemos 1 contra 1. Pero no se le ocurre cambiar. Y acá, si no es ataque rápido.
Remember 1 week ago when Casademont Zaragoza hosted Nymburk on Thursday, they rolled to a 90-71 win, and this game is anything but like that one. I mean, in that game, it was a 45-40 lead for Zaragoza at halftime. Then they outscored Nymburk 18-14 the third quarter, and then 27-17 in the fourth. And really, the victory was even more decisive than that. It seemed like Zaragoza eased up just a little bit, perhaps at the end. But today, they have been distinctly second best here against Nymburk. Playing with the home comforts. Hayden Dalton fouled by Alex Font. And it really goes to show you how from one game to the next, it can be awfully difficult to project an outcome or predict an outcome. And this would worry Hernandez. Yes, he is missing a few players tonight, but still, and his team is getting blown out. Omar Pruitt strokes it. He's got 15 points, and the lead is now 41-23. I've already used the word ballooned, so I'll say it's extended to 18. And Benzing, with nowhere to go, turns it over. Paliza now on the open floor, and we're seeing Nymburk in all their glory, ripping this Casademont Zaragoza team to shreds. Where's the emotion that we saw last week from Zaragoza? Is nowhere to be found right now. And again, you do kind of miss the fire of a player like San Miguel, who really gets into an opponent with his defense. Brasino, meanwhile, misses another easy one down low. It gives Benzing a chance, and finally, he's able to hit a shot to stop the rot. The first points of the second quarter for Casademont Zaragoza. Looked like he was about a meter behind the arc, and he buried it, Robin Benzing. Here's the quarter-by-quarter scoring. You can see that was the first 3 points of the quarter for Casademont Zaragoza. 15 points for Pruitt leading the way, 9 for Paliza. And for Zaragoza, 8 apiece for Ennis and Robin Benzing. And Paliza, he can stroke it, and he can also get out on the break as he did there. And that was Pruitt showing his sweet touch. Jacob Wiley, can he summon the emotion that he had last week when he was maybe the best player in the Basketball Champions League? Tonight, he got saddled with a couple of fouls early on and really hasn't been able to get into it. And now a foul called. So Brasino trying to knock the basketball away, picks up his second foul. And it really does seem like feast or famine for this Zaragoza team. Ennis and Benzing seem to start with the right mentality, but overall they have been lacking, I would suggest, in the intensity department. And Martin Cris picks up the foul. You know, it's a long way to come back from 17 points. So they'll be looking to start that comeback right now. And this Nymburk team led by as many as 20 points. So the comeback, in fact, you could argue could already be underway, but now the long three is out. Safarczyk looks for his man, and it's kind of a miscommunication, and Ennis is always going to take that one, isn't he? He takes it in and then cuts it back to a 15-point lead. Now, the one thing about Dylan Ennis is he will gamble, and he will get in the open floor and try to quicken the pace of the game. And that's usually how this Casademont Zaragoza team likes to play. Now Benda catches it down low, scores with a short little jump hook. Under 4 minutes remaining. Brasino open from behind the arc, and that's what he does. Maybe that'll be the start of something beautiful for him. He's telling his teammates, we got to talk more. And he's not talking about on the bus ride home. He's talking about right now on both ends of the floor. And now, again, the ball is turned over. So Peter Benda called for a foul on Ennis. Zaragoza, you would think that they would be happy if they could get this deficit down to 10 points by halftime. Benzing gets into the paint, puts up a very difficult shot, closely guarded. Wanted a foul, wasn't called. Now Dalton, and he's fouled by Rashid Suleiman. That was a no doubt about it foul on Suleiman. Well, you know, basketball is a game of runs, and right now Zaragoza's on a run. But Dalton can put the skids on that, and he does. He makes the first of 2 free throws. And he misses the second. So the lead back to 15. Ennis heard the whistle, and he goes to the line. Another foul on Martin Cris. A wry smile from Dylan Ennis. Not sure why. Is that a smile like maybe I was lucky to get the foul call? Well, it's the 3rd foul on Cris now, so he and Tuma, if foul, you know, this game is close late on, it could be that they're going to be in foul trouble. They're already in foul trouble. Each has 3. But Ennis misses the first. So when we talk about the teams already in the final 8, Hapoel Unit Credit Holon, Pinar Karšiaka, Lenovo Tenerife, Hereda San Pablo Burgos, Nizhny Novgorod, SIG Strasbourg, and Casademont Zaragoza and Nymburk. All 8 teams are known. What we don't know yet is who's playing who. And the reach and another sloppy play, and an unsportsmanlike, I think, is going to be called. It's saying he was going for the ball, but as the last defender back, let's have a look. And certainly Zaragoza were trying to help the referee make that call. Look at this. So 2 free throws and possession for Robin Benzing. A big opportunity here for Zaragoza as they try to cut into this big deficit. Benzing is just an out-and-out scorer, isn't he? He is terrific when he is in the flow. You want to get the basketball in his hands. He makes both free throws. He's had a good first half, Robin Benzing. 3 of 6 from the floor. He's got 10 points. Ennis is leading the way with 11 points, and he's got the basketball right now. And Nymburk, who led by 20, now are on top by just 12. Ennis, meanwhile, goes in and is swatted by Zimmerman, who's having none of it in his house. Hernandez pacing nervously in front of the Zaragoza bench. And Zimmerman says, get that shot out of here. Now, Benzing again. He's in the flow, folks, on the baseline, and it's a 10-point game. Omar Pruitt drives in. Oh, boy, what a tough finish. Plays through the contact and puts it off the glass and in. Pruitt with 17 points. Talk about another player in the flow. Benzing, he feels it, he puts it up, and this time short. Still waiting on Wiley to really start to make an impact in this game. He has not so far. And the ball, Pruitt, a little bit of confusion there with Wojciech Ruban. Throws it out of bounds. So another chance for Zaragoza. Rashid Suleiman back to Benzing and hits the three. Oh, and they call it travel. And Hernandez says, what? And Benzing can't believe it either, but he was right there. Referee was right on the spot. So 6th turnover for Zaragoza. Cost Benzing his free throw or his three-pointer, and Pruitt meanwhile goes in and now has 19 points. Wiley this time beats the defense down the floor. Paul pass back out. Suleiman over to Dylan Ennis, and Suleiman open, and great rebound from Zimmerman, who really is doing some good things out there tonight for Nymburk. Jakob Tuma. Paredo with the rebound. Passes it over to Suleiman. Passes up ahead to Benzing on the break. And he just feels it, folks. He feels it big time. And that three-pointer cuts the deficit to 11 points. Benzing now with 15 points. He did not hesitate. I mean, he is nailing it from long range. Look at this. Shall I pass it to Wiley? No. I am going to bury the three-pointer. And sometimes, as a shooter like Benzing, you just know it's in.
25 on this is on your fucking turnover. All of you. Turnover of 14 years old kids.
Apologies for the language, folks. We can't control that. We'd like to take you to the heart of the action. And sometimes emotions run high. Look at that, bench points. Big advantage for Nymburk. And meanwhile, if you had told me that by this point in the first half that Jacob Wiley would have 2 points and have taken just one shot, I would say yes, Nymburk would be leading by several points. But you heard the colorful language from Amiel, and Zaragoza have scored 9 points off of the 8 Nymburk turnovers. However, Nymburk have scored 7 points off the 6 Casademont Zaragoza turnovers. So both teams' profligacy is, or wayward passing and mistakes is leading to points for the other teams. Jakob Tuma. And when you're over the limit, I just do not understand. Well, I guess they've been gambling and trying to get some turnovers, but the last thing you want to do is put them on the free throw line. So Jakob Tuma goes to the free throw line. And we have more shuffling. And another timeout, this one called by Zaragoza. Now Jakob Tuma, just checking my notes here that I made before the game. See, Nymburk 20 of 31 inside the arc, just 13 of 34 for Zaragoza. So it's been not a beautiful thing for Zaragoza tonight. So Jakob Tuma came into this game shooting just 33% at the free throw line.
He played 4.
just
He played
4 of
3.
12. So,
Say
well,
ball,
perhaps
Dylan.
the early foul, maybe Dylan Ennis knew what he was doing by committing the foul on Tuma.
Dylan, score. Johnny win, Robin corner. Okay?
Tuma has yet to attempt a free throw tonight. Omar Pruitt, a great shooter, just 2 of 5 from the line tonight. As a team, this Nymburk team shoots 70% at the free throw line. But again, Tuma has hit just 4 of his 12 free throws this season in the Basketball Champions League. And when you know it, he makes the first. And does not make the second. And you have to say that follow through looked a little herky-jerky. Final seconds ticking off the clock in the first half. Dylan Ennis, he's open, so he puts it up. And that was a terrible finish to the half for Zaragoza. And Nymburk, look at Hernandez. Looks like he was saying we're running play 1. Anyway, Nymburk lead it 51-39 over Casademont Zaragoza at halftime. Well, Sergio Hernandez walks off the court in disbelief because of the lack of execution on that last play. You look at the numbers, and much better, especially inside the arc, shooting the basketball for Nymburk. Zaragoza do have 4 steals. And from a scoring standpoint, Pruitt has been terrific for Aaron Nymburk. Benzing has had the hot hand for Zaragoza. Well, Omar Pruitt carried his team offensively in this first half. I mean, that's the only way to put it. He was electric, as was Paliza, who came out and had 9 points in the first half and just continues to become an important part of this team. But Pruitt, you know, when you think about Nymburk, you think about Ruban, you think about Obasohan, but really with those 2 guys carrying some niggles of late and not playing, some of the other guys have been stepping up. Of course, Pruitt has always been a big-time performer offensively. Haven't seen that much from Dalton tonight from a scoring standpoint, and he is always a player that can go off. So you might want to keep an eye on him. And Benda also can contribute. Here's Paliza, and looks off the defender and just lays it up and in. This is textbook right here. Little fake. That's why you practice those in drills, and makes it look easy. No look pass over to Benzing from Brasino. And, you know, talking about Benzing, he is 3 of 5 from 3-point range. Now, the most threes that he's had in a game this year in the Basketball Champions League has been 3. He was 3 of 6 in a regular season game against Nizhny Novgorod, and certainly he's capable of hitting a lot more threes than that in one contest. So we shall see. You just don't know who it's going to be from one game to the next. And, you know, you've got guys like Barreiro, Jonathan Barreiro, who's been quiet tonight. Oh, so quiet, just with 1 point. And he is another player that I mentioned who has a 3-point shot that can be lethal, but he hasn't even really looked for it tonight. So plenty of candidates can step up for this Casademont Zaragoza team, and perhaps you have to credit a little bit the Nymburk defense for taking away some of those primary options. But again, when you look at Robin Benzing, he has been on target. He's hit 3 of 6, and if you include the one that he hit before they called the travel, he's hit 4 of 7. So the top scorer for Zaragoza is Benzing. He's 3 of 5 from the 3-point range, and 2 of 4 inside the arc. And here's a look at some of his baskets. He is not shy about putting it up. He'll do it in the half court, and he will also catch inbounds passes and put them up just like that. And he will also score on the break like this. Look at this. Wiley's open. Nope, he is putting it up. And that's what you get from a good shooter. For Nymburk, it's been Omar Pruitt. Enjoy looking at these shots, folks. 19 points. He also has hit 3 of 5 from 3-point range, 4 of 4 inside the arc. Enjoy these highlights and also some of the plays of the week from the round of 16. And we'll be right back with more commentary before the second half. Once again, scored this game 51-39. Era Nymburk on top of Casademont Zaragoza at halftime.
Will take the ball screen from Carmichael. Drops it inside. Carmichael throws it down and one. Oh, the team in blue believe right now. Clemens with the game in his hands. Goes to the hoop. Oh, he gets it on the layup. Takes Rabaseda to the basket and just lays it in for 2.
That's a massive block by Madsen, who gets that transition off and running.
Hayden Dalton also 6 rebounds as well. Fila turns the corner, oh, and flushes it with 2 hands over the top of Hayden Dalton.
Nice fake, and he goes up for the dunk. What a throwdown by DJ White. Still got some hops. Look at this. Nobody close to it. Cross court now to San Miguel. There's Yalu. Oh, baby! He did it one more time. Well, he went back door.
Laslet has it knocked away, only into the hands of Wiltshire though. Shot clock to 7. Turns a corner and throws it down. Wiltshire with the roar.
Sideline possession, give and go. And the throwdown left-handed. What a move by Santi Justa.
Sam, a bounce pass, Bittim drives in. Are you kidding me? What a throwdown from Bittim. One-handed.
Oh, they go lob. Who's got it? Game 2 just slipped off the stack. Catch kept it up and knocked down the 2.
Well, so many candidates to get it going for Zaragoza to help them come back against Nymburk tonight. It's Nymburk leading it 51-39, but who would you look for to really try to step up for Zaragoza? Well, it's got to be within the concept of the team. Benzing obviously already with 15 points and feeling it. He's going to come out, but they really need some other guys. Dylan Ennis as well has been very active, although he's just 3 of 10 from the floor. 1 of 5 from three-point range. They need Suleiman, perhaps, who's just 1 of 5 from the floor. Jacob Wiley, who's only attempted 1 shot. Jonathan Barrero, who's only attempted 1 shot and missed it. And also you've got Nicholas Brasino, who's just 1 of 4 from the floor, including 1 of 2 from the arc. So plenty of candidates. This Zaragoza team without Rodrigo San Miguel tonight, without Trygve Helenissen, the Icelandic international center, and without Elias Harris, the German who, well, he was very effective in the first meeting between these two teams. And meanwhile, Nymburk showing the power of recovery, having bounced back from their beatdown against Casademont Zaragoza in Spain by not only winning on the road at Sassari, but coming out tonight and handing it right back at this Zaragoza team, going up by as many as 20 points. Now, what they haven't been able to do is lower the boom. You see Obasohan, a player that they would desperately like to be playing tonight, but more important than that, they want to make sure he is fully fit and healthy for the Final 8 and for the stretch run in the Czech playoffs. So they're letting him, again, he's sitting out tonight. And no, I think there's no question that he will be back for the Final 8, and this will be an even tougher out for whoever plays Nymburk. So a lot of good teams in the Basketball Champions League. These two among them having already booked their places at the Basketball Champions League Final 8. And as a reminder, once again, at the Final 8, you'll have Hapoel Unet Credit Holon and Pinar Karšiaka. Congratulations to Pinar Karšiaka. Boy, they had to overcome a very tough home loss to Hapoel Unet Credit Holon, and then a road defeat at Tofaş Bursa to make it. They did so by winning against Happy Casa Brindisi. Lenovo Tenerife and Herrera San Pablo Burgos are in the Final 8. Remember, Burgos at the first attempt last season in the Basketball Champions League, winning the competition. Also Tenerife winning it in year 1. Nizhny Novgorod. Congratulations to them. They've made it to the showpiece event for the first time. What a great story SIG Strasbourg are, losing their first 3 games in the round of 16 and then winning 3 in a row, and punching their ticket with their big win over Turk Telekom this week. They also helped pour on the agony, or pile on the agony, for Ike, the former champions and last year's finalists, keeping them out. So and then, of course, these 2 teams, Zaragoza and Nymburk, will be at the final 8. So you ask me who I think the favorites are, and honestly, right now, I don't know. I really don't know. You know, obviously, it's going to depend on also player availability, which players are going to be fit. But by the look of it, to me, right now, it's wide open. And that's great, I think, for the competition. So a lot of excitement in this Basketball Champions League. Where's the final 8 going to be staged? Who is ultimately going to be crowned the winners of this edition of the Basketball Champions League and join the likes of Tenerife, Ike, Virtus Bologna, and Hereda San Pablo Burgos as winners of this competition that, again, just keeps getting better and better. And to have such a successful run this year in the Basketball Champions League, despite the coronavirus pandemic, just been an amazing job by the players, the clubs, the teams, the referees, the Basketball Champions League organizers, everybody that's involved. And really, now the fun is about to start. So again, this is a battle for first place in Group L, and second half action is now underway. Can the team in red, the traveling Casademont Zaragoza, have the good times return? Well, they're going to get an open look here right at the start of the second half, and they're going to miss it. So that was a good look for the Spanish club. Nymburk looking to extend their lead. Oh, what a spin. And Zerman showing some moves there. Brasino, meanwhile, goes down, misses again. And Wiley holds his ground. Great defense by Dalton, but a foul called from behind. Now, missing that first 3-pointer was Jaime Fernandez for Zaragoza, but at least Jacob Wiley has a chance now to get on the his first 2 points of the second half. Well, I said it in the first half, and I'll say it again. I think the key for this team is this man right here, along with Brasino and Suleiman. If they can play as well as they did in the first meeting against Nymburk, the world is their oyster. And really, they haven't been nearly as effective tonight. You know you're going to get the energy and the explosiveness from Dylan Ennis, but you need other players to really step up. And Benzing has stepped up tonight. But here they are giving up another easy one to Zimmerman. And you can't help but be impressed by him, how he continues to make strides. Now Brasino. Fernandez passes up the 3 this time. Stepping back and putting it up is Ennis. Zaragoza would like to force some turnovers and get some points in transition if they can. Dalton, turnaround jumper, good. Well, he was always going to start to get off, and they pass it up ahead, and that's much more like it for Casademont Zaragoza. Ennis streaking ahead and catching the long pass by Brasino. Safarchik, or Tuma, answers right back. One of those high number players, 98. And now a reach has been called on Hayden Dalton. Nope, they have called it on Jakob Tuma. Not sure why Dalton's reaction was like that, but that is now 4 fouls on Tuma. So Safarczyk comes in for him, and he played well in the first half. Meanwhile, Wojciech Ruban called for a little bit of a bump, a little bit of body. And Nymburk accumulating the fouls here in the third quarter. Yeah, I think that was a good call. Wiley catches the inbounds pass. Here he goes. Brasino pulls up at the elbow, gets the shot blocked. Terrific play by Ruban. Great defensive play by the Czech international. Now they pass it around. Brasino this time, that's where he likes to be, but he's short. The ball batted out to Suleiman. Wiley just behind the stripe, he misses, but they battle for the rebound. Oh, and they can't get it to go. Brasino again, and showing that versatility, gets it to go, and cuts it back to a 10-point game. I mean, you're looking at a player who looks like he can play almost all 5 positions out there. Brasino, certainly defensively, here he is battling way down low on Zimmerman. Ruban. Open Pruitt, and this time, well, Brasino was boxing out Zimmerman, but Ruban came in and got the rebound. Now Dalton from behind the arc. And foul called on Zimmerman, on Jaime Fernandez. So Zimmerman picks up his first and is going to go take a seat. And they'll bring in the veteran Peter Benda. Suleiman, explosive, drives in, banks it in. Zaragoza wide awake now, cutting that deficit to 8 points. Now Ruban, sensing the challenge, draws the foul from Fernandez. So Jaime Fernandez raises the hand, and Ruban goes to the line and makes the first free throw. Jaime Fernandez, just 20 years of age, 2.03 meters in height. That's 6 feet 8 inches, and Ruban sinks both free throws to take it back to a 10-point lead. 6.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Long way to go. Suleiman again. This time a little bit out of control, and sure enough, turns the ball over. Suleiman was thinking his teammate Brasino was going to be drifting more towards the corner. Hence the pass. Poliza, meanwhile, comes back into the game. Boy, I tell you, what a luxury to have a player like Poliza that can come in and spell Ruban. That's called depth. Safarczyk. Oh, great defense. Suleiman almost coming up with the steal, reaching in, knocking it away from Omar Pruitt. And the Zaragoza defense picking it up a little bit here. The hands are up. And now I think Fernandez is told he's got to give a little bit of space. Remember earlier this season, or just a couple of weeks ago, in fact, Pinar Karciaka, there was a technical foul called on Simierdin for stepping over the line when he was guarding the man trying to make the inbounds pass. Porzingis is telling him right now, if you come over that line, you're going to get a technical. And they've called a technical foul. Unbelievable. Right after the warning. Watch his feet. Do they cross over the line? Or no, they're saying he didn't give him enough space, I think is what it is. Because he clearly didn't go over the line. And Hernandez is just beside himself. He says, there's no way. Well, maybe that'll appear on the popular tough calls section of stories that appears every week in the Basketball Champions League. A little bit of explanation from the officiating department. Meanwhile, traveling called on Pruitt. Well, I guess Zaragoza will be willing to give up a point if they can come down and hit a three. Suleiman, his pass, and again, this time his attempt to Wiley just a little off. The synergy, the connection. Looks like Hernandez either lit into his players at halftime or somehow was able to get them fired up because they've come out with a little bit more bounce in their step. Pruitt, the winner, clinches first place in the group. Pruitt goes down. Great box out by Fernandez. Quick pass. Oh, almost one pass too many. And fortunately for Brasino, the ball came back to him. Safarczyk, meanwhile, is down, and they can't afford for him to go out. Not with Tuma having 4 fouls. Look at this. Well, it was good effort by Safarczyk to prevent the pass from Wiley. And again, Brasino was very lucky that the ball came back to him. So he makes the shot. It's 60-51. Safarczyk seems to be okay, perhaps not moving quite as quickly as he'd like to. Pruitt, meanwhile, lost control of the basketball, and Benda had the size advantage on Suleiman and was posting up, and then Suleiman called for the foul. That's now 4 team fouls on Zaragoza. Oh no, is it 4 or 3? 3 team fouls. Paliza. And he shoots it over Fernandez. Rebound and run for Dylan Ennis. Gets it to Brasino. And this time the push called on Benda as Wiley goes down. Now Wiley and Benda having an exchange. And definitely Benda had his hands on him and kind of shoved him. Not maliciously, but enough for a foul to be called. And now Safarczyk has been hit with a technical for complaining. Well, testy. First place on the line, and both of these teams feeling really testy. Look at him. Okay, so in fact, they did not call a foul on Peter Benda, and I don't know why Safarczyk was upset. They called the technical on Safarczyk, but they didn't call the foul on Benda for pushing off, which I thought they had. Anyway, Paliza misses. Quick pass over from Fernandez to Suleiman. Pulls up at the stripe and gets it to go. All of a sudden, folks, it's game on. They once trailed by 20 points, and now the deficit is just 6 for Zaragoza. They're alive and kicking. Suleiman at the charity stripe, just inside it, and Amiel calls a timeout.
from the bench also. Cut this bullshit. Nobody complaining. Come back to play basketball. Omar, you're not alert. We did it before and now. We make an X, they switch. Come here so you can pass the ball. You late, we late. The time we miss the time. Okay, let's play free side. Make a good one. Make a good pick so we can have this pass, okay? Aiden, if your man is a little bit cheap, you can turn it to a stagger. Free side, go! 1, 2, 3. Get open, please, on the wing.
Well, you heard Coach Amiel telling his guys to stop with the bickering and the complaining and just play basketball, because it cost him a technical free throw and a made free throw. And again, Hernandez telling his players now to button it. And the inbounds pass. And 2 points for Nymburk. Now Hayden Dalton bumped. So coming out of the timeout a little bit better from Nymburk. Jaime Fernandez was chasing back on defense and got a little bit too close to Hayden Dalton, who now is at the free throw line. They want to have a look. I'll be quiet and we can listen in. Well, I don't see it unsportsmanlike, to be honest. I think we're not able to hear our referees, so. Game has certainly gotten a little testy here in the third quarter. So 2 free throws have been called, so I'm not exactly sure why they were looking at that. So it was initially the barge from Fernandez saying he just never intended to play the ball. But anyway, looked like he hustled back and just committed the foul. Nymburk have not shot it particularly well tonight at the free throw line, but Dalton does make the second to take their percentage up to 57%, 8 of 14. But that stat has certainly helped Casademont Zaragoza stay in, who haven't been brilliant themselves, 11 of 17 at the charity stripe. And a three-point shot from Brasino. And it looks like Zaragoza have kind of lost their momentum a little bit. Benda hands it off, and Paliza drives in and scores with the left. And now Hernandez calls timeout. Or has he called a timeout? Well, they've called a technical foul on Brasino. That's what it was. Well, players and coaches are frustrated, but the coaches have told their players they got to button it and let the referees do their job. So that technical free throw makes it a 12-point game. Bounce pass to Wiley, and he was fouled by Benda. See Jarek Harding over there. He's not playing tonight, it appears, again. Not 100%. He was calling for a travel. So without Harding and without Obasohan, this Nymburk team, to be honest, has done quite well tonight, leading by 12 points. And, well, he's got the energy, perhaps, that he wants some good minutes out of Fernandez. And now Benzing has come back out. And I think also Brasino has gone out. And now Wiley misses a free throw. So it's Barreto, Benzing, Ennis, Suleiman, and Wiley on the court for Zaragoza. Have they weathered the storm now? That's the question, Nymburk. Now they're leading by 11. And good hands by Ennis, almost forcing the turnover. Safarczyk gets it back to Ruban. Spins in the paint, puts it up, and it's good. 9 points for Wojtek Ruban. Dylan Ennis. Not much movement for Zaragoza right now. Just got everybody sitting out on the perimeter, so they're just saying it's your turn, Dylan. Okay, they do get it to Barreto right at the end of the shot clock, and he misses. Good hustle by Ennis, but not able to collect the rebound. Well, Zaragoza, they might be missing players tonight, but I think if they come out, they don't seem to have the same focus tonight. And certainly not the type of focus they're going to need the final 8. Now, you can argue that the hard work is done and that both of these teams are in the final 8. But Hernandez is looking at it like we've got to be good every time we step on the floor. And the reality is that Casademont Zaragoza have not been great tonight. They've played very well in patches, but then they've also played pretty poorly. Ennis from behind the arc. Barreto with the rebound and loses it out of bounds. I mean, Barreto, it looks like just a shadow of the player that had 6 threes in a win over Dinamo Sassari. He just hasn't looked good at all tonight. Benda passes it to the corner, Ruban. And the pass to Chris, back outside to Ruban. It's good, the 3. And now the lead has ballooned it once again to 16 points. Wiley with the rebound, gets it to Ennis. And another technical, I believe, has been called. Or just a normal foul. Yeah, technical has been called on Dylan Ennis. So Paliza takes advantage. Well, it's always easy to lash out at the referees when things aren't going your way. And this Zaragoza team has not been at its best. It's been a little bit frustrated, but sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror and stop blaming somebody else. Was there contact? Probably, but there's often contact that isn't going to be called. Now the rebound. Here comes Barreto. So 17 points. The advantage. Barreto from behind the arc, and he is hit by Ruban. Well, sometimes it takes a technical foul to fire up a team, and it might just do the trick here tonight. Ruban called for the foul on Barreto. And now the question is, can he make the free throw for the 4-point play? So an irritated Ruban goes out of the game, and Barreto needs to make this free throw, and he doesn't. 14 points, the lead for Nymburk in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Omar Pruitt has certainly been quiet in this 2nd half, not like the 1st half when he had 19. Now they swing it. Pruitt from behind the arc, and he gets the 3 right back. Oh boy, that is a killer. Three-point shot from Benzing, and boy, that ball was going down and it came out for Robin Benzing. Omar Pruitt looking for a dagger. Is he going to throw it in? The ball batted out of bounds, and Pruitt will want to button it up and get over to the bench. Aaron Nymburk extend their lead. They are on top 75-58 here at the end of the 3rd quarter. $17-point lead. Nymburk, 3 more threes. Much better inside the arc as well. Free throws. Well, here's a look back at some of the highlights of the 3rd quarter. And it really did look like Zaragoza had a chance to pull this thing back. They got it to, they cut the deficit down to 6 points. But the last few minutes, they kind of went off the rails. And Nymburk have frustrated them, and they've extended the lead back to 17. Fourth quarter action underway. And FIBA Basketball Nymburk look like they're going to finish first unless Zaragoza can rally. And Benzing's three-point attempt rims out. Paliza steps back, now gets it to Benda. Shot clock down to 4. And Chris launches the 3 and hits it right at the end of the shot clock. Boy, that is a killer for Zaragoza. I think more than anything right now, Hernandez would just like to see his players get some execution. And Brasino comes out. I mean, you know, you got a player like Brasino, if he can get open, and he can reel off about 4 or 5 threes in a row. I don't think he'll get open that much. And even so, you still got to get stops at this end of the court. Good defense by Brasino with his hands up, preventing the inbounds pass. They're able to get it inside, or get it to Paliza, and Paliza drives in, misses. Brasino with the rebound. Quick pass up to Wiley, and then the interception by Pruitt. But he stepped out of bounds. Boy, that was a great interception by Omar Pruitt. That ball had some mustard on it. It was really coming at him. And he caught it both hands and was off to the races. Look at this. He didn't catch it cleanly. He deflected it. Now the three-point shot. And once again, Benzing with 18 points, and it's a 14-point deficit. They've got to get stops because they've got the players that can get hot from deep. Bounce pass, and they don't get the stops. All of a sudden, Martin Chris is becoming the offensive juggernaut. He hit the three-pointer, and now he scored with a reverse layup. Brasino to Wiley, puts it up and in. Boy, that was a great finish by Wiley. He caught the ball high, and he kept the ball high and put it up off the glass and in, because if he brought that ball down, it would have been knocked away. Still time for Wiley to be a big factor. And this time the drive no good by Pruitt, and he knew it. Benzing pulls up in the paint. And now it's back to a 12-point game. Don't look now, folks, but Casademont Zaragoza have closed the gap to 12 points. I think Amiel was telling Chris he should have committed the foul instead of giving away the jump shot. This is the good side of Chris, hitting the three-pointer, and he also had a nice reverse, but Brasino came back and hit a 3. Benzing hit a 3. Benzing hit a shot in the paint. There's Benzing with his 3, going to 18 points. And then Benzing scores here when Chris doesn't foul him, and he goes to 20 points. That was a tough finish by Paliza, meanwhile. Paliza, look at that. Wow. So Paliza has 15 points. Continues to do his good work. And Chris, meanwhile, having gotten an earful from his coach, he's got 7 points, a couple of assists. He does have 3 fouls, so if he does commit that foul, he picks up his 4th, but I don't think his coach wanted to hear that. Meanwhile, Dalton back in the game. to try to stem the flow of points for Zaragoza. Also, Rashid Suleiman in the game. Now, what's going to happen? Final 7.5 minutes to go. And a hold called on Zaragoza, the second team foul. And it was on Alex Font. Gris gets it inbounds. Now Pruitt. Paliza for three. Boy, he is clutch. And once again, he is racking them up, boys. He has got 18 points. 2 of 3 from deep. I mean, he played for the Czech Republic at the World Cup, but in a way, he's been kind of a revelation. Nice drive, and the basket is good for Zaragoza, and it's Font's turn to get on the board. Alex Font, his first 2 points. Font with the points. Now, Dalton. Wiley guarding Benda. Are they going to switch? Yes, they are. He switches on to Paliza. Steps back. This time no good, but Chris gets in for the rebound and the putback. Well, Benzing was there, but he wasn't able to box out Chris. Suleiman pulls up at the elbow, drills it. Well, you feel like Zaragoza have one more run in them. And it's imperative right now for Nymburk to make some smart plays. Perhaps use all the time on the shot clock. Look at this, Benda goes down. Shot clock down to 5. And jump ball has been called. And possession arrow with Nymburk. Great work from Font yet again. The unheralded forward coming in and making some plays. Meanwhile, Zimmerman checks into the game. Also, Javier Justiz, who needs to play better with a little bit more sense of urgency than he showed in the first half. He's guarding Zimmerman. 3-point shot from Paliza, and they dodged a bullet, Zaragoza. Looked like Paliza had another 3. Suleiman back to Barreiro. Cross court from the corner. Font, is it good? Nope, rims out. Offensive rebound, the putback not there, but the follow almost. Barreiro, don't know why he didn't just go up strong with it. And Pruitt takes the foul and gets a couple of free throws. The reach by Benzing, who looks a little tired. Well, he wanted to stop the foul, and in fact, they do call the foul before the shot. It's an interesting game here. I mean, Nymburk, with Tuma coming back in with 4 fouls, they've got to be able to show they can close these things out. And Zaragoza would like nothing more than to come back and get a win tonight, having trailed by as many as 20 points. That would boost their confidence, and they want to see now, I guess, if that was an unsportsmanlike foul. So no unsportsmanlike. I'm sorry, folks. I wasn't catching any audio from the referees there, but I wasn't sure if you were, so I didn't want to interrupt there. But no unsportsmanlike foul was called. So Hernandez breathes a sigh of relief. Pruitt, alley-oop pass. And Suleiman rebounds the miss, rebounds and runs. And then just doesn't quite control it well enough, goes out of bounds. Look at this. Dalton did have his left arm on his back, his elbow, but I'm not sure that that's what forced him to lose control. Certainly, I don't think Suleiman is complaining about it. So they're going to wipe up the moisture with 5:20 remaining and a 13-point lead for Nymburk, who have possession. And this time a foul called on Paliza. So just 6 seconds go off the clock in Paliza. Watch this. Tries to set the pick. And adjudged to have gotten into position. Oh no, Zimmerman, excuse me. So Zaragoza have called timeout.
Con el handoff de él, con él, sí, o, perdón, con el handoff de él con Robin o con Johnny, que juegue 4, gol listo para jugar el pick and roll central si es necesario. But in the handoff, you play 4, Johnny, Rashid, Alex va a estar al lado del balón. Rashid pasa Alex, go to the corner. Aquí venía un mano a mano con Robin. He comes with you, like you play handoff with you, that he moves to the basket. ¿Sí? Javier, estás acá. Johnny hace esto, si no recibe, Javier, screen, Johnny, a handoff you. Okay?
Okay, Zaragoza going to try to run a play here to get a cut further into that deficit. Still a long way to go if they're going to haul this deficit back, but you could say there's enough time, but they got to get stops. Question is, will they get the stops? Suleiman into the paint, puts it up. Whose teeth? Goes for the rebound, and Hayden Dalton brings it down. Now the ball was hit. It's going to be down at this end. Nymburk with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Tuma gets it into Paliza. Okay, so they reset it to 14 seconds on the shot clock. Now Dalton goes in and tries to dunk it on Justiz. And is he hurt or embarrassed? Amiel, he was trying to put Justiz on a poster. But Justiz is a big man, and he didn't give away an inch. Look at this again. You got to applaud him for the effort. That was just a case of Justiz just being a tower of power and a lot of weight. And Dalton, as he was flying in, he hit him and couldn't get any closer to the rim. Zimmerman, meanwhile, takes advantage. He gets the free throw and takes the lead up to 87-72. And now an over and back called on Zaragoza. So Zimmerman was there for the putback from his teammate, got the three-point play, and now Zaragoza have turned it right back over, trailing by 16 points. And this time Justiz has knocked it away, out of bounds. Good swat from the Cuban. Suleiman passes outside to Barrero from behind the arc, who is well short with that three. Now Dalton and the alley-oop pass, and Nymburk are turning on the style, and who would have thought that this type of margin of victory would have been possible after how the game finished last week. But from one week to the next, you can learn a lot, and Zaragoza have just been dogged, and this is where you worry for them as well. They can play great in one game, and you don't know what you're going to get the next time out. They've got to have the consistency. It has eluded them. So try as he might, Suleiman now has 3 fouls, and Tuma is back at the free throw line. So Jakob Tuma gets both free throws to go. Look good on those. And he's got 5 points, 3 of 4 at the line. Lisa called for the foul. So Fernandez and Ennis come back into the game. And probably Benzing is done for the night. So the challenge just has not materialized as we expected from this Zaragoza team tonight. You would have almost expected them to be favorites, even with 3 players missing, just judging from their performance last week, but they have not been nearly as good as Nymburk tonight. You miss the size and athleticism of Helenissen. You miss the tenaciousness, the tenacity rather, of San Miguel. And you miss the offense certainly from Elias Harris. But that can be no excuse, because Nymburk also missing Obasahan, Jarek Harding not playing tonight. And Nymburk have turned around an early deficit. They've gone in front by now 20 again, and they are in the driving seat as we play the last 3 minutes of the game. Tuma strikes from 3-point range. Well, Jacob Wiley didn't make as much of an impact tonight as well as he did in the previous meeting. From a scoring standpoint, Brasino has not. Brasino, he has 12 points, 11 rebounds, 9. He's almost got a double-double. In fact, well, here's a thought for you folks. If you're just watching, Brasino is 1 assist away from a triple-double. Okay, Nicholas. Dish it. Only problem is, okay, here he goes. Justiz. Bounce pass, kicked. Well, 97 points. I think they're the highest scoring team in the Basketball Champions League, and they have certainly showed it again tonight with 97 points. They're probably going to reach the century mark yet again. Here's Brasino. He's going to get his triple-double. Nope. Not on that one. And Barreto drives in. Not there. Justiz there for the rebound and putback. Safarczyk. And Tuma back at the line. Makes the first. Kovar into the game late, and another timeout. Tell you, if you're Nicholas Brasino, I'm not sure you want a triple-double in a game when you're getting beat by 20-plus points. Kind of takes some of the shine off of it. Anyway, let's listen to Coach Hernandez.
Diagonal, está jugando 3-2. Diagonal de Johnny, abre Johnny, Jaime reversa con Johnny, Dylan, el último screen, pico de uno ahí, ¿sí? Lo suficientemente bien hecho para que la bola entre como asistencia a él. En caso de no poder, continúas, recibís fuera de la pintura y rápido mano en mano con él.
Zimmerman has made some plays tonight. 11 points, 6 rebounds. Fernandez has gotten a lot of time tonight. And so it is Kovar, Rilic, Safarczyk, Tuma, and Zimmerman on the floor for Czech Republic, and Barreto, Brasino, Ennis, Fernandez, and Justiz for Casademont Zaragoza. Now the pass. Bounce pass to Justiz, who turns and has the ball taken away by Kovar. He was wrapped up. So in fact, they did call the foul on Justiz, and the young man misses with his free throw attempt. Misses both, in fact. 20-year-old Lubos Kovar. Here's Brasino. Hands it off, and he almost had his triple-double there if Ennis had scored. Why are we harping on this? Because the triple-double obviously is it's a rarity. You don't see it that often. We have seen it a couple of times in the Basketball Champions League. Chris Kramer, I think, was the last to get it. So another timeout called by Coach Hernandez. So I think he wants to run another play.
Chest 2 de salida. ¿Sí? Pero lo hacemos para vos como 4 para slip a 3 puntos. ¿Sí? Johnny, quédate bien profundo ahí, lado contrario. ¿Sí? Dylan. No, porque Dylan va a ser el...
Well, that was...
Se acabó, Nico.
That's, even though Hayden Dalton did not make that, did not get that dunk to go, it's still a highlight reel play, isn't it? It's a highlight. It's a Javier Justiz, I'm a big man, don't try to dunk on me highlight because I'm just going to step in front of you. But you have to give your respect to Hayden Dalton for trying it. And Justiz, you can see if he can get back to full fitness, he could be a factor for this Zaragoza team. And there's Brasino in search of the assist for the triple-double. I keep having to check my own stats to make sure that's true. It doesn't seem possible. But he does have 12 points. Brasino, and that would have gotten it for him. But Barreto misses with the 3. You don't think Hernandez tried to get it for him, do you? I don't think so. So Farchik puts it up from the arc. And again, Justiz rebounds it, gets it to Ennis. And there for the putback was Fernandez. And that's going to be it, folks. Well, it has all in all been an impressive win for Nymburk. They trailed early, but they got to grips. Went up by as many as 20 points in the first half. Even though they led by 10, they came back and turned on the style again against Casademont Zaragoza. Nymburk win it 98-78. They clinch first place in Group L. Well, each of these teams have won against each other in the round of 16 and done so convincingly. Who knows? Maybe they'll meet again down the road in the final 8. It's possible. Unlikely, probably, but still, Nymburk, are they a team that can go all the way? They certainly are. And for Casademont Zaragoza, I think they are as well. But you know, if they're gonna do it, both of these teams. They're going to need some more consistency, and maybe the more consistent of these teams is this this team right here to be able to go out and win convincingly. Look at Amiel having a laugh with Dalton. I think it's about the dunk attempt. That's all I can. I'm pretty sure I would be willing to bet the house that that's what they're laughing about. Anyway, Amiel, the coach of the year, looks back to see if he's needed for interviews, and yes, he is. So he's going to go back over. In fact, he's just going to say congratulations to the referee. So the final stats tonight. I'll let you have a look at those shooting stats. Boy, the free throw shooting needs to be better for both of these teams. And the defense, certainly for Zaragoza, giving up 98 points. 8 more assists for Nymburk. More rebounds for Zaragoza. And Omar Pruitt, who had 19 points in the first half, finished with 25 to lead all scorers. Robin Bensing had 15 in the first half. He had 20 to lead Zaragoza. Another big night for Lucas Paliza as well. And here's a look back at the second half highlights. And it really was a case of Chris. You know, when Chris hit that three-pointer, it was probably going to be Nymburk's night. Chris also had a nice reverse layup. Just double checking to see with Martin Chris on the year. He had hit already 5 of 11 threes, so he is a threat when he puts it up. I mean, that's a good percentage coming into the game. Robin Bensing sort of carried the load offensively for Zaragoza in the first half, and didn't really enter the second half until quite late in the second quarter. And you just felt like this Nymburk team was just going to be, they were just too far ahead to overhaul, to overtake. That was the famous dunk attempt by Hayden Dalton. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a good, he's going to be amused when he looks back at that play on the highlights. I'm sure they'll be talking about it in the team meeting. And that was Hayden Dalton with an alley-oop pass to his teammate. And of course, Tuma giving it to him with the three-pointer. Proved us wrong with his free throw shooting tonight. Hit 3 of 4 and also hit that three-pointer. And then Zimmerman keeping those hands up, getting the loose ball. Barrero just didn't hardly show up tonight. But Justiz, who struggled in the first half, seemed to offer a little bit more in the second. Not only did he impede, get in the way of Dalton's two-handed jam, but he got that offensive rebound and put back. And Safarczyk here, suffice it to say, got one that looked like it was going down. It did not. And then Ennis missed as he took it down, but the follow was there from Fernandez. Again, one more look at that. I wouldn't say it was a beautiful game tonight, folks, but we have completed the round of 16, and Oren Amiel and Nymburk clinch first place. Another impressive run for them in the Basketball Champions League sees them go in as Group L winners to the Final 8. And Casademont Zaragoza will also be there, and they'll be looking to be a little bit more impactful than they were tonight. They finished 4-2. Borussia Bamberg fell to Dynamo Sasser in the other game tonight, so congratulations to Sasser for getting their first win in the round of 16. 98-78, Era Nymburk win it.